Hello, hello. This is Taylor Ursula of That's So Pisces, and y'all, this is it. This is the potent lunation that we've been talking about. It's time to talk about this Cancer new moon. So let's do it. Okay, so I feel like I've been on this for several weeks now. The nodal shift is upon us, and it is very much part of this new moon in Cancer. Okay, so for the past 18 months, since mid-January of 2022, we have had the North Node in Taurus, ruled by Venus, and the South Node in Scorpio, ruled by Mars. Now, the time is upon us where the nodes will shift, and those rulers will also flip-flop. So with the North Node moving from Taurus into Aries, Mars becomes the ruler of the North Node rather than the South Node. And with the South Node moving into Libra, Venus is now in charge of releasing the past rather than accumulating for the future. So all of this is happening on the day of this new moon in Cancer. The moon becomes new in Cancer just about an hour or two before the node shift, and the moon will then square the nodes. Ah! Now, modern astrologers will say the final aspect of the moon before it goes votive course is an opposition to Pluto. Pluto recently returning to the final degree of Capricorn. It will do this one more time in 2024 before finally entering Aquarius for good. So there's something here in this Pluto that is being communicated by this new moon, being confronted by this new moon, that the moon is also bringing in to this square to the nodes, which it does just after this opposition to Pluto. You may also know I've been talking about Pluto squaring the nodes, and this is the week that this begins as well. Now, Pluto, depending on your ephemeris, depending on your source, you may see that Pluto squares the nodes not once, but 3 times. How is this possible? Pluto moves so slowly, and the nodes, while typically moving in a backward fashion, tend to station direct for a few days at a time in between its backward movement. So we have the nodes kind of stopping and starting a bit as soon as they enter the Libra Aries axis. And because of this kind of stop and go, a little bit of action, we have 3 squares from Pluto to these nodes. Potent stuff, y'all. These 3 squares happen over the course of a week. So in a short period of time, we are feeling a deep, deep, pervasive change stirring within us that is kind of catalyzed or initiated by this new moon in Cancer. What does that mean? Great question. This is some energy that I can't necessarily describe to you. This is a lot of different parts of our charts being activated. So it will look different for each of us. Where the North Node falls in Aries in your chart, where the South Node in Libra falls in your chart, and where Pluto currently moving backwards visually to us through Capricorn, and where this new moon is then creating a grand cross in Cancer, is going to depend on what your chart looks like uniquely. What I can say is that we know Pluto to be about change, about power, about psychology. We know that Pluto has a lot to do with our instincts, our motivation, what drives us deep within. We can think about Pluto being co-ruler to Scorpio with Mars. I always like to, if you know my work, you know that I work with co-rulers because the outer planets move way too slowly to actually have a day-to-day sense of rulership over any of their signs. So what those outer planets are really doing is slower, deeper, more integrative work. So if we think about Pluto in that sense, we think about the nodes being where we're hungry in this current part of our lives, the North Node, and where we are jettisoning some other areas of our lives through the South Node. We may find ourselves in a tense and potent crossroads regarding how it is we assert ourselves, what it is that we even understand about our own motivations and instincts, how self-aware we are at this point in our lives, and how we're able to use that self-awareness to make different choices at this juncture. Interesting to think about having these opportunities several times over the course of a week. Again, Pluto moves very slowly. What we become awakened to in that first square may be something that begins to percolate, begins to make its way to the surface over the course of the week and these two other squares. And there may be something, some evolution that is ready to emerge from us, potentially one that we never saw possible before. That's some of the intensity of the nodes. We don't actually know what we're seeing when we encounter them. We just recognize an opportunity for some future path. What we can do with that, again, really depends on your own chart. And if you want to dive in, you know where to find me. So let's consider this new moon a potent time of change. We know that Leo season is swiftly upon us. These new moons have been happening at the end of the zodiac season. And so this new moon may have us kind of looking back on all the changes we went through since that Gemini new moon and really getting clear on who we are as well as who we hope to become. This could be a time where we are able to confront some limitations, reconcile who we've been in the past. I'm feeling a little judgment card coming through here. Maybe forgiving ourselves, or at least extending some compassion for the paths we've been on that have led us to this point. And then really wanting to get clear on what power we have. We know that individually we're up against a lot right now within the collective, and that can feel really overwhelming. So this may be a time of deep activation for us. What am I capable of now? Where can I create space for that image, even if the world I live in is trying to deny me that opportunity? And what does that stir up in me that I want to be more in control of, feel more agency around? Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some cards to see what this new moon is opening up for us. All right, new moon, new cycle. Let's get started. So at this new moon, we are asking about the cycle that is beginning for us now. We're getting a sense of what has been cleared away in order to allow for this shift that's coming in. We are asking about what this new cycle may look like as it begins to unfold. And lastly, how we can ground our ideas and intentions now. There we go. That last one was not satisfying, so I just need one more. Yep, there it is. All right, thank you. You know how it is. Okay, so what are these nodes bringing in? What is this opposition to Pluto bringing in? Oh, well. Let's just take a peek here. Okay, seems pretty fitting for a very new and like potent portal we're stepping through. All right, so we'll see if any of those pop back up. Love to see who is eager in the deck, you know? Okay, let's do it. All right, y'all. Okay, a cycle that is beginning now. Ooh, the sun. Oh my. Okay, this is a nice note to start on. We love the sun. A cycle that begins for us now is one of radiance and authenticity. I love thinking about the progression of the sun. It's preceded by the moon. The moon is such an uncertain time. We are going deep into our unconscious space to figure out who lives in there. And when we emerge in the sun, we are emerging, parting these clouds that have been cast within ourselves, within our self-awareness. We have transformed. We are these butterflies that are emerging on the rays of this sun. So, this cycle that's starting for us is one of really knowing ourselves, really being connected to our inner light, coming back to our inner child to reclaim them, bringing them to the forefront, really feeling ourselves, feeling like ourselves, and feeling like we can be ourselves. So, that's delightful. Okay. What has been cleared away to allow for this shift to occur? Interesting. We don't think of the Nine of Cups as something that we move away from. And that's kind of an interesting thought. What has been cleared away? Maybe we had wishes that weren't aligned for us. Maybe we wanted for things that weren't meant to fill our cups. Or maybe we've wished for this. Maybe we have wished for this to happen. And that's finally come to fruition. But the thought of clearing away a Nine of Cups, like a hopefulness vibe, makes me think about, I'm really resonating with this false hope thing. I'm thinking about kind of the conversation we had at the Aries third quarter moon, since that's kind of presumably what we cleared away to make room for the new moon. And we talked a bit about being ruled by that Mars at 29 degrees of Leo as it was about to shift into Virgo. So there may have been some putting down of wishes of things we wanted to be in order to see who we really are. Ooh, okay, I like that. What this new cycle may look like as it unfolds. I freaking called this. Okay, y'all, you seen it here. I freaking knew it. I'm trying so hard not to curse right now because that is my instinct. I knew it. Oh my God, I love it. Okay. Woo. What this new cycle may look like as it unfolds is compassion for ourselves, is releasing who we were, okay? I love the judgment card. I think so many of us hold ourselves to standards that are pretty impossible in this world. If we've experienced any kind of trauma, any kind of oppression, any kind of hardship, we have internalized that to some degree, and we have built that into our conscious lives. Things that started outside of our control became part of our programming. We have done so much work. I mean, I'm assuming because you're here with me. So that means that you've done so much of this work, okay? To be a better person, to transcend your trauma, to stop patterning that plagues you, okay? Right? So any part of that process comes with or leads us to a place where we have to look back and be okay with what has brought us here. And that's hard, okay? We're looking at a major arcana card that is like the penultimate major arcana journey, right? The card after this ends the majors, it's the world. And this reminds us that some of closure involves not just external validation that we finish something, but the internal validation that we've done our best, that we've done everything that we could in this cycle of things to be the best version of ourselves that we can. I really love this for us. I love thinking about this cycle of the sun, of new authenticity appearing to us, unfolding in front of us through self-compassion, through releasing our previous selves, through the expression of, I knew what I knew then, and I know what I know now. Okay? Wow. All right. So, how we can ground our ideas and intentions now. Haha. Ooh, fun. Okay. I know this popped up for us in the Gemini new moon stage, and that was, I believe, showing us what things were going to look like as they were unfolding. So it's cool to see a continuation of the previous lunation cycle, so many rhymes there, where we have the King of Wands from the Gemini new moon showing us what could unfold for us. So hopefully that meant the Gemini new moon brought us visions, we saw that lunation cycle unfolding through the visions that were coming into us. Now we're invited to ground our ideas and intentions by embodying those visions, by claiming the right, that is a king, I think a kingly phrase is claiming the right to something, to be this something, to embody this something, not only to step into the power of your own vision, but to allow others to see and witness what it looks like to do that, so that they may feel compelled and catalyzed and validated in doing the same for themselves. Oh my goodness. I love that we kind of like, we've got these two majors, the light shifts in this so much. We're kind of transforming day into night, and then the dawn is breaking. Woo, my Pisces mind is lit up here with all these visuals. So, let me know how this lands for you in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, please share it, and please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm really stoked to see how this new moon is going to lead us to this first quarter moon vibe. So, see you next week.